السلام عليكم الإخوان والأخوات، كيف الحال والأحوال؟ كنتمنى تكونوا بخير وعلى خير، وهذا الفيديو أكون في صحة جيدة ونهاية أسبوع سعيدة للجميع. أكيد ما يقع في جنوب إفريقيا واحد المخاض كنتظروا حنا المغاربة شنو غير ممكن يعطينا وشنو ممكن غيهم المغرب، ولكن ما يقع في الإعلام كاين بعض البوادر، خلينا نقولوا بعض التلميحات في واحد القناة في جنوب افريقيا، او خلينا نقولوا قناه عالميه الفرع ديالها في جنوب افريقيا يبث ريبورتاجات رائعه وايجابيه على المغرب، وفي نفس الوقت يبث الانتخابات، يعني تحضير الانتخابات وكذلك نتائج الانتخابات وما الى ذلك. يعني هذا تحول مهم ان قناه في جنوب افريقيا تبث امور مهمه عن المغرب على قولة الله أكبر، تبث نقاط مهمة عن المغرب، السيارات كذلك المؤتمرات والمنتديات، ناهيك على شنو دار المغرب في الجفاف. يعني هذا الشيء كامل كيدار والمواطن الجنوب الافريقي كيشوف هذا الشيء، وفي نفس الوقت كيشوف الانتخابات. يعني كيبان لي تحول مهم، هذا خصنا نردوا ليه بعين الاعتبار هذه النقطة. نخليكم تشوفوا هذه الروبورتاجات في قناة او في فرع ديال قناة عالمية في جنوب افريقيا. ودائما كنت كنقول ان هاد الناس خاصنا غير ربما اعاده النظر معهم، او هما يعيدوا النظر معنا في الموضوع ديال القضيه المغربيه، والامور تكون مزيانه لانهم مصالحين مع نفسهم ماشي بحال هوكيستان. خليك تشوف هاد المقاطع ونتلاقاو في الاخير نزيدوا نناقشوا حول الوضعيه الجديده ديال المغرب مع جنوب افريقيا. بطبيعه الحال حتى اول مره كتزور القناه تسعدنا ديروا واحد لايك واشتراك، هذه احسن حاجه ممكن تساعدونا بها. وفي نفس الوقت شكرا بزاف الناس كيكتبوا لنا تعاليق وكيديروا لايك قبل ما نسالي الفيديو. نتلاقاو في الاخير.
Finally, to our special segment, Resurgent Africa. Amid the coups and the crises, there are many positive stories from Africa that often get overlooked, but not on this show. Our story today is about Morocco's booming auto industry. The country's automotive sector has grown from virtually non-existent to Africa's largest in less than 2 decades. The North African country has the capacity to produce 700,000 vehicles a year. And now, as the world moves towards a more climate-friendly approach with the adoption of electric vehicles, Morocco seeks to play a leading role in the transformation of the EV market. Our next report gets you the details.
Morocco is widely known for its culture, cuisine, and architecture. But the North African country rarely gets enough credit for its renewable and sustainable energy efforts. From inventing the world's fastest lithium battery to introducing drought-resistant crops, Morocco is championing the global fight against climate change. Now, the country is venturing into the electric vehicles market, pioneering the future of electric cars. An abundance of minerals like cobalt, phosphate, and lithium has enabled the country to produce higher quantities of lithium batteries in a reasonable time frame. These batteries are an important resource used in the manufacturing of electric vehicles. And as the news spreads to more automobile brands, Morocco has been swamped with demand. As of today, more than 250 automobile and car parts making firms operate out of Morocco. These include Chinese, Japanese, American and Korean factories. These firms make seats, engines, wheels and other car parts at the Tangiers Automotive City. Meanwhile, Netherlands-based Stellantis produces its famous Peugeots, Opels and Fiats at its plant in Kenitra. Of these, Renault is the largest employer. The French company calls Morocco the Sandero land. That's because it produces nearly all of its Dacia Sandero cars in the country.
Morocco became a strategic pillar in the industrial strategy of the group at the international level. We have an annual production capacity of 440,000 vehicles that will reach 500,000 by 2025. This will allow the cars we build in Morocco, made in Morocco, to be exported to more than the 70 countries to which we are currently exporting.
The auto industry now accounts for 22% of Morocco's GDP and contributes about $14 billion in exports. Morocco's trade minister says that they have been able to achieve this by expanding its ports, free trade zones and highways. The country offers subsidies of up to 35% for manufacturers to put factories in the rural outskirts of Tangiers. Moreover, steady approvals and construction of factories are an added bonus. The government promises to get the approvals for new factories and finish construction in as little as 5 months.
It's the most competitive platform to build automotives, the most competitive decarbonized platform in the world. This is what makes Morocco attractive, and this is what made the Morocco platform grow that fastly and reach a level of 1 million capacity per year to be built by 2025. So Morocco has built it in 15 years from nothing. We did not export a car 15 years ago.
The booming sector is a win-win situation for both industries and Moroccans. While firms get cheap labor, they also create more jobs for citizens. And on an average, the workers are paid more than the median income in Morocco. And now, as more countries shift to net zero carbon emission and incentivize the electric vehicles market, Moroccan officials are determined to maintain the country's role as a car-making juggernaut.
South Africa's May 29th elections.
There was a start of change in the country.
We are on the verge of history.
I am standing here at the forefront of change where voices echo the call for action. The nation grapples with an unemployment crisis. As South Africans prepare to cast their votes, the question looms, will the winds of change usher in a new era, or will the legacy of the past maintain its grip on the future? Finally, to our special segment, Resurgent Africa. Amid the coups and the crises, there are many positive stories from Africa that often get overlooked, but not on this show. Our story today is about Africa's growing foothold in the technology sector. Morocco held the second edition of the Gitex Africa Tech Show, which saw a culmination of startups, tech giants, entrepreneurs and global leaders on a global stage. From robots that play games to agricultural drones, the event saw some of the most advanced and creative tech innovations. Our report tells you how Africa is positioning itself as an emerging tech hub.
Morocco's tech industry is witnessing a metamorphosis. After the automotive sector, Morocco is now making long strides in the tech arena.
The citizen at the center.
The country's capital, Marrakesh, brought together global leaders last week as it hosted the second edition of the Gitex Africa Tech Show. From robots that play games to agricultural drones, startups and tech giants gathered for the country's marquee tech event. The 3-day event, billed as one of Africa's largest tech shows, hosted IT titans like Microsoft and Canon. Around 1,500 exhibitors, companies, entrepreneurs, innovators and startups from more than 130 countries graced the event. At the forefront of the discussion was artificial intelligence and its potential to boost Africa's economic and social development. Morocco's ABA technology presented a spraying drone which offers precise management of water and chemicals. The aircraft can help farmers in the country that's grappling with a 6th year of drought.
Faced with climatic challenges such as drought and thanks to technological advances, our spraying drone offers an efficient and optimal solution, allowing precise management of water and chemicals. Thanks to Gitex, we have had a lot of visitors who really want to know more information about this drone.
Meanwhile, creativity was on full display during the event. Egypt-based Marsis displayed a robot that can play ball games. The company says it aims to break the barriers between people and robots.
We present this year an interactive solution in a robot that plays handball with people here. Our aim is to break the barriers between people and technology and robotics, and to let people feel how technology can positively affect their lives.
And many international companies utilized the event to make inroads into the African market that they had earlier found difficult to crack into.
The Gitex exhibition has made a lot of things easier for us because it is a gateway to Africa. We didn't have it a few years ago. So since last year we have had this gateway, so it makes it easier for us to have contact and everything. So we have direct contact without having to travel throughout Africa, which is a travel problem, and today travel is expensive. So it is indirectly an investment, but directly it brings us money.
Plenty of homegrown businesses were also part of the Gitex show. And companies like Mediot and Al-Meksaira and Company served as testament to Morocco's tech advancements. The firms say they want to put Morocco on the map for tech development. Last year, Gitex came to Africa for the first time, marking its first foray outside Dubai. Morocco's state-of-the-art infrastructure, high internet connectivity, and a 100% electricity penetration rate made it the perfect choice to host the event. And now, a year later, as Marrakesh hosts Gitex Africa for the second year in a row, it seeks to highlight Africa's growing importance in the technology sector.
First Post reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections, to climate change, to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Finally, to our special segment, Resurgent Africa. Amid the stories of coups and crises, we get you tales of hope and positivity that often get overlooked, but not on this show. Now today, our story is a testament to Morocco's fighting spirit. As years of drought threaten the country's agriculture sector, scientists have developed new strains of climate-resilient crops. Around 50 new species of grains, legumes and oilseeds are being made. It not only aims to offset a drop in agricultural yield, but also to boost crop production by 50%. So even as Morocco battles this climate crisis, the country is already preparing for its future.
Years of drought, an acute water shortage, Morocco has endured some of the harshest impacts of human-induced climate change, but that has not discouraged people in the North African country. In fact, it has only strengthened their resolve to fight the climate crisis. As Morocco steps into its sixth consecutive year of dry spell, scientists in the country have devised a method to combat crop shortage. They have developed new strains of food crops that are resilient to the adverse effects of climate change. Morocco's Institute for Agricultural Research has come up with around 50 new species of grains, legumes, and oilseeds. They have been tailored to respond to the drop in agricultural yield. Scientists expect the new climate-resilient crops to boost production by a massive 50%, and although the research into the crops remains in the early stages, trials have already begun in various locations like Garb, Ses, and Tadla in central Morocco. In the past, occasional drought in Morocco were followed by periods of rain, but now, the country is assumed to have entered a prolonged dry spell, and years of dry weather have threatened the agriculture sector.
There is a severe drought this year, which led to a rise in the cost of fodder and a decrease in the production of livestock, such as sheep and goats, which did not reproduce as before.
Agriculture is a crucial sector in Morocco. It accounts for roughly 14% of the country's exports, and employs a third of the country's working-age population. So, disruptions in the sector are likely to severely threaten Morocco's food security. To counter that, the country has introduced the Green Generation 2020 to 2030 strategy. The plan was launched by Morocco's King Mohammed VI in February 2020. It aims to develop a sustainable model of agriculture.
Successive years of drought prompted the Ministry of Agriculture to implement a set of programs and strategies that were implemented at the regional level, at the level of our office, the Regional Office for Agricultural Investment in Malouya. It was implemented even at the level of the irrigation networks, and also the main canals that supply the region with irrigation water and drinking water as well.
The plan seeks to increase agricultural exports to $6.4 billion and the agriculture GDP to $26.5 billion by the end of the decade. Now, even as large swathes of lands go barren, and climate change brings a whole new set of uncertainties, resilient Morocco is preparing for its future with new inventions and government programs. The country is shifting its focus to finding solutions rather than lamenting its loss.
First Post reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. Is it the end of the road for the African National Congress? And will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback?
يعني كما شفتوا الإخوان روبورتاجات مهمة، وهذا الشيء كيبين على أن رغم أن هذه الإذاعة أو الفرع ديالها في جنوب أفريقيا بدت هذا الشيء، الأمور عادية ليس بسلاسة، وربما هناك تغير في حتى الناس المكلفين أو الناس اللي عندهم الخط التحريري ضد المغرب بأن دولة منافسة لك لا سياسيا ولا اقتصاديا كدير أمور إيجابية عليك. هذا تحول مهم اختردوا ليه على الاعتبار. وبما أن هذا الحزب الصنم ديالهم اللي كان في جنوب أفريقيا تم تحطيمه، ربما العلاقات غتكون احسن واحسن، وخاص بطبيعه الحال الاعلام ديالنا سوف يدير واحد الدور في التقارب. الرياضه ما استغليناهاش كما يجب، ولكن خصنا نديروا التقارب مع هذا الشعب هذا، لانه فعلا شعب متحضر، ماشي بحال هوكيستان. كان هوكيستان كانت شي قناه مثلا الجزيره فرع الجزيره في الجزائر بت شي حاجه، او العربيه في الجزائر بت شي حاجه ايجابيه على المغرب، كره سدو كما وقعت شحال هذه بالنسبه لقناه الجزيره. وكيبان على انه هنا تحول جديد، وربما ديناميه ممكن تكون في المستقبل جديده. تفاعل معايا اشنو بان لك بان قناه فرع ديالها في جنوب افريقيا كيبت هاد التقارير هذه، وشنو بان لك في التحول الجديد في جنوب افريقيا؟ ممكن الامور تكون مربوحه للمغرب، او يعني ليس في القناه في دي املس حتى في هادو هما بطبيعه الحال. تفاعل معايا، والراي ديالك مهم، وكذلك ينورنا في اختيار بعض المواضيع واقتراحات في الفيديوهات المقبله. الى لقاء فيديو اخر ان شاء الله. تهلاو.